Wow. Wow. What a fucking game that was. North America, Russia. Had high hopes for the game, and it definitely lived up to them. A fun game to watch. In the background, if you care, is some gameplay of NHL 17. If not, just listen to the audio. And so, one thing coming into the game I was interested in, the speed of Canada. Well, not Canada, North America. Russia, it's almost the opposite of Finland. Finland lost Selanne, Jokinen, Olli Jokinen. They lost Timonen, and they lost Sami Salo. That's sad to see, being a Vancouver, or from Vancouver. I watched him as I was growing up. I remember playing NHL 2K5, I think it is, or 6, and he was my favorite player to play in that game. So, sad to see him go, but nonetheless, Finland took a massive hit. Russia's upgraded a ton. They have so much young talent. They have Kuznetsov, Tarasenko, Kucherov, they have Panarin, they have Orlov, they have Nemestikov. It's crazy the plethora of talent Russia is getting. And throughout the years I've said that the one thing holding Russia back from competing with Sweden in that group is the depth. Sweden just has depth over Russia. And now you're seeing Russia gain depth, and it's good to see. It's good to see. Because I want to see Russia do good. Ovechkin, he's the player that got me into the NHL. You know, I'm still a teenager. So, Ovechkin was my idol growing up. He's the one that got me in the league. I want to see him succeed. I want him to have success at an international level. Obviously, I want to see him get past the fucking second round too. Fuck the Pens. But nonetheless, let's get into the game. And coming into it, I was sure they could match the speed. I knew they could. So, oh yeah, one more thing. Hitting. Physical. I wanted Ovi, Malkin, Emelin to set the tone for a physical game. Emelin sure did. I didn't see Ovechkin. It was weird. He almost makes that a staple in his game in the NHL. He didn't really in this game. I definitely thought he could have and he should have. I think Malkin could have. He's not one to throw his body around too much, but he definitely should have threw his body weight around a bit more. They're getting some littler guys, some smaller guys, like the Kuznetsov, Kucherov, Nemestikov, but they do have big bodies still. The veterans of the team. Obviously, Datsuk, he's not one to shy away from hits, though. I would have liked to see that more, for sure. I started watching a little bit late. I don't remember the exact time, but it was right as North America scored the first goal for Austin Matthews by McDavid. I literally turned it on, and the rush was happening, and they scored. To let you know how close I was to the beginning of the game, or to the goal, I couldn't even rewind it past the goal. So, I started watching right at that goal. I don't have anything to say about the goal, because obviously I didn't get a chance to see it. But, other kind of highlights during the first period, Ovi made a great defensive play. I think it was, I forget who it was, but they passed it from behind the net out front to Sad, who would have had an open shot at the net. Not open, but a good look. And Ovechkin took it away, only though, about 10-20 seconds later to trip on the ice. That was odd. That was very odd. I think something was wrong with his skate. The way he fell, being a hockey player myself, and looking at the way he was skating afterwards, he kind of was trying to keep his balance more. I definitely think something was wrong with his skate. That was weird though, but great defensive play early on from Ovi. Early on, both teams were playing pretty smart hockey too. I was shocked at how good North America was playing. The IQ of the team and the IQ level of the plays they were making was incredible, honestly. It really was. for such young guys, again, Russia has young guys too. Finns, they had young guys too, but they still got the veterans. And I'm curious to see what they do against, say, a U.S. team who's all mostly veteran. Same with Canada. I'd like to see, but we might not now. But nonetheless, fuck. I hate the announcers this game was so annoying. On the Ovechkin play, the announcer was like, "Oh, there was 3 North Americans in front of him. I think that might have been why he fell." I'm like, "Are you fucking blind? You moron?" It had nothing to do with pressure. It had everything to do with him just falling by himself. Oh, they annoyed the shit out of me tonight. It was annoying. I'm gonna get more into that. But that was the first case where I was like, "You're fucking dumb." He was trying to justify Ovi falling to North America's pressure on him. No one was even touching him when he fell. That was just a dumb statement. But nonetheless, a few plays later, Ovi was pressuring the net, and Jones kind of gave him a push after the whistle, like, "Hey, get out of my crease, get away from my goalie." Ovechkin did nothing about it. Right away, I thought, wow, Finland didn't have the team to do this, but Russia has the team to pressure them physically. And they just didn't do it. I don't know why. I don't know why Ovechkin didn't give Jones a stern punch to the chest and push him back. I don't know. It was weird. You're not going to get a penalty for that most of the time. They've been calling a bit more penalties like that. But, I mean, not a punch. It's like, push him back. Come on, Ovi. God, that had kind of annoyed me. Same with, who was it? It was Europe versus Finland, when what's his name, Kopitar cross-checked the defenseman, and the announcer said, there should be a pushback. I agree. Should have been a pushback now too. Russia definitely had good pressure though. They ended up getting control of the puck. Excellent pressure until Panarin tripped on the ice as well. I don't know if they have the same skate brand. They better change it if they do. But nonetheless, Panarin tripped on the ice. North America had a 3-on-1. It looked like it was going to be a goal until, who was it? Morenko, I think is how you say his name, came on the back check to break it up. Definitely a great play by him. Started going back and forth hockey. Really fun to watch. A lot of rushes. Definitely a transition game early on. Not early on, kind of like last 10 minutes and first 10 minutes of the second period. Definitely a transition hockey game. The first big hit statement was Emelin on, I'm hesitant to say McKinnon. I forget who it was. It was along the boards though. It was a pretty bad pass by the defender. He set him right up for the hit. Emelin drilled him though. I thought, as soon as that happened, yes, that's what you gotta do, Russia. Come on. So yeah, and another thing the announcers fucking pissed me off is they tried making the case that North America was playing a European type of hockey. I swear, as soon as I heard that, I didn't even get mad. I was just speechless. They weren't playing anything like European hockey. The announcer was like, "Oh yeah, if they're not seeing an opening, they're gonna circle back." You think the way they were playing was like a Sweden in terms of circling back? Get out of here. Fuck. The length they were trying to go to hype up North America is insane. I hate it. I'm not mad at North America. I'm mad at the announcers. It was horrible, the announcing today. Like, I honestly almost muted it at one point when they were talking about the goaltender, but I'm gonna get to that. That was the second time they pissed me off, saying, "Oh, it's like a European type of hockey they're playing." No, it was a Canadian type of hockey they were playing. 100% they were playing Canadian type hockey, not European. They weren't playing Sweden, nothing like that. So, that annoyed me. At around the 5-minute mark, though, it definitely got a bit sloppier. It almost said Canada. North America started turning it over a little bit more. Not too much, but still. Sorry, that's my phone going off, my bad. Yeah, Russia had a good push late in the period. It wasn't major, though. When they were controlling the offensive zone, they did have good puck protection. The thing I liked about how the Russians were doing it, early on at least, they were controlling the puck in the offensive zone, but they were taking a plethora of shots. You know, they weren't sniping, they weren't shooting to snipe, they were shooting for rebounds, shooting just to get pucks on the net, which I really liked. And the speed of the players that were out there as they were doing that, like a Kucherov, would easily get the rebound before the defender would, because they were obviously flat-footed. I really liked that. And another thing the fucking announcers said, they made this point a few times during the night. They even made it the other night against Finland, that was it. But they said he's acting, or he's not acting, they said Murray is like Carey Price. I wish I had face cam, you would see my hand on my face. Oh my god. Murray, in the Finland game, they were talking about how he was like Carey Price early in the first period, keeping them in the game. He faced like level 1 difficult shots on a scale of 1 to 5. Again tonight, he faced nothing difficult in the first period that he shouldn't have been able to handle. Oh, he's moving like Carey Price, he's not overreacting. No, he's just not overreacting. He's not like Carey Price. Fuck! I hated that. Why are you trying to hype up the team so much? Let them hype themselves up. They did a great job of hyping themselves up against Finland, and in the comeback they had against Russia. Sorry for a spoiler if you didn't know what happened, but yeah, it was unreal. I hated it. Ugh. It didn't show it on TV, but Kuznetsov went after Couturier for a hit he threw. I think he threw it on Nemestikov. Could be wrong. I think they did show it after the replay, actually, but as I was taking my notes, they didn't show it on TV. I don't know. It wasn't anything too bad. Again, I don't know why he cross-checked him. All these times where, like, Kuznetsov or somebody would kind of play a chippy or cross-check North America, that's not what you need to do. What you need to do is play physical. You know, give them a hack if they win the face-off, whatnot. But, nonetheless, I thought that was a bad penalty by Kuznetsov. Definitely one he shouldn't have taken. Just a play he could have avoided. Why not just wait till you have a shift with him? Couturier might be taking a face-off. Talk to him. Say, next time I see you, you're getting ran over. I don't know. That was just me, though. One thing the announcer did say I liked about 1 in a million tonight, he did mention how Russia adapted to the North American style they were playing. I completely agree. Early on in the period, Russia seemed to be lost in the game plan. I don't even think Russia knew what the game plan was. Coming out of the gate, I didn't see anything from them that I would say, oh yeah, they're really going to try and work on this part of the game. They're really going to try and facilitate this. Didn't see anything. But they did do a really good job of adapting to the transition, breakout, speed game North America was playing. I really liked it. So, North America definitely was getting a bit too fancy on the power play. McDavid on the power play, he was behind the net, just stick handling way too much. And then Eichel, a terrible dangle. Oh yeah, this is at the beginning of the second period. Eichel, a terrible dangle, trying to get around the defenseman. And on the same one, McDavid tried going through 4 people. And that might be something that catches up to them, especially if they're facing a team like Sweden. Especially if they go against Canada. That's going to catch up with them. a few times. Goudreau had one of those where he tried dangling at the blue line. Really bad play by him. So yeah, and then after that, Russia got a penalty. This is where the game got a bit chippy. Russia got a power play, and I was thinking, they have to score here. They have to. You got to set the tone that you're nothing to mess with. North America wins the draw. They were winning a lot of critical draws, especially towards the end of the game, and especially in the special teams. North America held their own at the circle. Really surprised and pleasantly surprised. I like it. I like how they're showing they can compete at the international level. But they dump it, and Russia's power play was terrible. It was awful. Terrible zone entrance. They were just flat-footed. They were passing to guys flat-footed. They were trying to do everything individually. They weren't playing as a team. I mean, again, if you give Sweden the same type of zone entrance, they're probably going to make it work. Because you got Backstrom, you got Sedin, you got Zetterberg, who can do that. They can come in the zone and set up by themselves. Datsuk, I don't know if he can do that anymore. Obviously, it didn't look like it. Kuznetsov, Malkin, they can, but not to the extent Sweden can. And that's one thing I noticed. They were just trying to do everything individually, and one guy was trying to set up individually on the power play the entire time. So, yeah, it was terrible. They should have been embarrassed, honestly. If I was Russia, if I was a Russian fan, I would be embarrassed watching that. Terrible passes. Right after that, Sad got a penalty. Sad? I don't know how to pronounce his name, but yeah. Again, another special teams draw. Datsuk loses. Datsuk was losing them. I couldn't believe it. Malkin ends up coughing up the puck on a terrible pass. The power play was awful here. It was terrible. Again, they should have been embarrassed. Nonetheless, though, Bobrovsky definitely kept them in the game. He made some really good saves. But as soon as the power plays were over, as soon as it went back to 5-on-5, Russia started playing good. They started controlling the puck more. They started getting more intense. They started forechecking more. Which, one thing I noticed, the line that started that was either the third or fourth line. I don't know, like, the numbers of lines, but it was a bottom six line that started the forecheck and intensity after the power play. And good on the coach for putting them out there. You know, you guys aren't getting it done. The top guys are playing terrible. I'm going to send out these guys that are hungry. And they were hungry. They came out, set the tone. The next shift, the coach put back out the Datsuk line, and they got two good chances. So I don't know if I can chalk it up to the coach. I don't know if I should chalk it up to the third line performing well. Either way, something happened that got Russia sparked back in it. It could be just the sheer embarrassment of the terrible penalty kill. And again, like, all the reporters are asking Russia, what do you think about the young guys? Are you scared the young guys might embarrass you? Everyone knows they're a young team, so getting embarrassed like that, that's going to set a spark under anyone's ass. So, an open shot by Tarasenko, too. And again, here comes the announcer, quote, channeling Carey Price. Channeling his inner Carey Price, end quote. Get the fuck out! No! He is not channeling whatever the fuck he said. He is not Carey Price. He is not channeling his inner Carey Price. He is not acting like Carey Price. Carey Price is the best goaltender in the world. Stop overhyping him. Fuck. It hurt my ears. And I'm from Canada. I'm not this biased European dude who doesn't like any North American teams. I'm from Canada. I live in Canada right now. But this overhyping shit has got to stop. Honestly, it reminded me of the NBA hype that the NBA, ESPN, SportsCenter puts around NBA people. Steph Curry starts shooting good. Oh, he's Jordan. He's not even a top 50 player of all time, and they're trying to put him up past Jordan as a scorer, while ignoring his defense and everything. That's what they're doing to Murray. It's making me hate him. It's making me not like North America. Channeling his inner Carey Price, my ass. That was an awful statement. Nonetheless, about a few minutes after that, Murray goes down. He falls down and Trouba saves it with his pad. But no, they're not going to mention that because they want Murray to seem better than he is. They're not going to mention the fact that Murray was just a clumsy fucking guy. Something that Carey Price wouldn't do. Anyways, Russia started finally forechecking at the mid of the second period. Sad ended up not being able to get the puck deep. The Russian forward shoots it on net. Nemestikov backhands it, dekes around the goalie, backhands it, off the post and in. Really interesting goal. I laughed out loud when I saw that. It was one of those goals that just made me laugh. It was pretty funny. And then, after that, another rush in transition for Russia. Ovechkin gets it over to Tarasenko, passes it to Datsuk, who fakes the shot, gives the one-timer to Ovechkin on a 3-on-2, and he rifles it off the post. God, I wish that would have went in. That would have been so nice. But it was definitely, again, momentum. Now the momentum started picking up for Russia. Then, off the face-off, McKinnon wins it. It takes an odd bounce off the glass. Kucherov almost one-times it out of midair through the 5-hole. And right then, I was thinking, yep, they're going on a tear. This is one thing Finland couldn't do, and that's score at will in a small amount of time. So, and then finally, in the midst of this, McKinnon is near the goaltender. Markov just takes him and tackles him down. Finally, Markov too, that's another guy I forgot to mention who needed to throw his body around. He started doing that more. That was good to see. I was looking at my TV like, finally someone's doing this. That leads to a 4-on-4. On the 4-on-4, Kuznetsov gets around McDavid, goes down the wing, and puts it on the inside, forehands it, and what a goal that was. That was a nice goal. After the goal, he goes by the North American bench and talks shit. That was pretty funny. He was talking shit all game, apparently. I didn't notice it watching, but they showed some clips. Apparently he was. That's pretty funny. I wasn't really surprised, but yeah, he's that type of player. I watch Washington games, so I see him a lot. It doesn't surprise me he did that. So next thing, North America started putting on some pretty good pressure. Matthews got a rebound. This would have definitely evened out the playing field in the second here, but Bobrovsky makes a great save. He started playing like he should. He started playing real nice. On transition now, another transition by Russia. Datsuk gives it to Tarasenko. He does like a 360 move. First he does a 180 to shield the puck. He turns back around facing the net and rifles it through the defender's leg. And, the announcers, after the game, you know what, let me get through this period. Let me get through it. There was a big scrum at the end, here near the end of the period. I was thinking this only benefits Russia. A big scrum. Markov got into it with Trouba. There was another mini battle, punches thrown. That only benefited Russia. And actually, a funny thing going on doing that. I wish I had the clip to play. I really do, because during the scrum, the referees are just blowing the whistle. They're just blowing the whistle like that's going to stop them. The referees are going, whoo, whoo. I can't whistle, but they were just blowing the whistle non-stop. The players didn't give a shit. They were continuing to fight. That was hilarious. That was hilarious. Late though, North America did get one back from Riley. I forget, maybe Trouba shot the puck. The Russian guy blocked it. Riley outweighted, to get traffic in front of the net. He fired it home. That was a great play by North America. Just getting lots of traffic in front of the net. Definitely what they needed to do. North America then got a power play, and that was a chance to even out the playing field before the end of the second. They couldn't do it, though. They got a few mid-level chances, nothing great. But, yeah. Coming into the third, I'll get into the announcer thing later. North America didn't show any signs of being shook. I really liked that, coming into the third period. They didn't show any signs of being shook whatsoever. Malkin did get a bad penalty. The North American had an excellent power play. Good puck movement. Multiple grade A scoring chances. It was amazing, honestly, to watch. It was fun to watch. Riley's one-timer gets blocked, injures the Russian guy. Then Purenko gets it, nails it. They were hammering that puck. It was crazy. Bobrovsky saves it. Rebound comes to Nugent Hopkins, who puts in the rebound. From here on, Canada's intensity just kept on increasing constantly. Slowly, constantly increasing. I really like that out of Canada. My bad, guys. I'm not used to North America. North America's intensity. Russia definitely had a break when McDavid took a penalty. Good call, though. It was a late call when McDavid took that penalty. That's why I'm saying they got kind of a break. It was a cross-crease pass. McDavid did hook him for sure, but it was a very late call. He didn't call it until the Russian player put up his hands like, what the fuck, ref? Canada had good control. They started getting into the rhythm, but now, the first time of the game I saw it, Russian forecheck, Russian physicality got the puck back. I was really pleased with how Russia responded in the third period now. I really was. The next penalty, there was a lot of penalties now. Panarin got his stick stuck in McDavid. Or was it McDavid? It might have been. But he got his stick stuck in a player. Again, a critical face-off win for North America. A few of them. It was crazy. But North America then had the penalty for too many men. And watching the different power plays was really interesting. They both had similar power play in terms of puck movement, body movement, but Russia focused on getting that one golden chance, whereas Canada was focused around just getting shots to the net. I didn't have a problem with either. I thought both of the teams facilitated those pretty well. Emelin nailed Eichel along the boards. They needed to do that way earlier. At this point in the game, it's not going to do much. They needed to do that earlier, for sure. With the goalie pulled, 40 seconds left, Orlov gets a penalty. A huge push in the last 40 seconds from North America, but they couldn't do it. A post, a few awesome saves from Bobrovsky, ends up getting it. Now, that's the game. Awesome game. Fun to watch. But the fucking garbage post game. I forget who it was. Let me move the mic away. Somebody had the nerve to say the only reason Russia won was because Murray hurt his finger? Bullshit! He had the nerve to say that. Murray injured his finger. That's why they won? Are you kidding me? Are you kidding me? He said, yeah, and then after he hurt his finger, 4-on-4 shots went in. Russia took advantage. Of course they took advantage. Who the fuck cares? You're telling me if Murray didn't get injured, they would have been shut out? That was such a bullshit comment. The only reason Russia won was because Murray hurt his finger. He honestly said that. I'm not changing his words. He said the only reason. I couldn't believe that. I was happy North America lost. I'm honestly happy they lost. The overhype of Murray being compared to Price, Canadian style of hockey getting hyped up, acting like it's a European type of hockey, which I don't even know why they did that, because they're playing in Toronto. So why would you compare it to European to hype it up? Anyways, and then the only reason Russia won was because of fucking Murray hurt himself. I hope North America doesn't make the semifinals. I hope Russia ends up facing Sweden. I hope they do. I hope Russia wins the next game definitively. That was ridiculous. That was ridiculous. Bullshit comment. Nonetheless, I feel better venting that out a bit. Putting that aside, very fun game. Very technical, very smart game by both guys for sure. Or both teams, not guys. Both teams executed the game plan really good. Russia definitely had to adapt, and they did. They got the victory. Congratulations, Russia. That was a fun game to watch. I can't wait to see the next game. If you want me to cover any more topics more in depth, let me know in the comments. Thanks for watching, guys.